Timberdoodle here with my two helpers. I've got Emmie. Say hi, Emmie.
Hi, Emmie.
And this is Kai. Say hi. Kai, say hi. Oh, Kai's being antisocial.
Hi.
And
Hello.
oh, there we go. And we are out here at Jefferson County Park. The temperatures are about middle 40s during the day, and it's getting down into the 20s at night. And so that means it is maple syruping season here at Jefferson County Park. So come on along with us as we tap a few trees and do some maple syruping. So here we have a silver maple tree, and that's what we are going to be tapping. And so when we select our tree, obviously it has to be, for us here in Jefferson County Park, we only have silver maple. So we know that this is a maple tree. One of the things that we're looking for is, are there any scars? Are there any spots where we tapped this tree last year or in the previous years? We don't want to tap a tree in those same scars. So we're looking for the scars, and we're making sure we're not going to put our tap right next to that. The other thing that we want to do is we want to look up above us and see, are there any big branches? If there's a big branch above us, that's good. We also want to look down. Are there any roots that are going into the ground below us? So kind of think of it as a highway. The tree is sending that sugar water up to the buds during the day when it's nice and warm, and it's sending it down into the roots when it gets cold at night. So we want to find a highway. We want to find a spot between the two where we can take off a little bit of that extra sap. So we look up above us. Yeah, we've got some really good branches. We look below us. Kai's foot's on a really good root. So that's a good sign that we want to put a tap into this silver maple tree right here. Okay, so we have our spot. We're going to be tapping on the tree right here. And we have our hand drill, and there's a bottom kind of part of it here, and we're gonna push on that, and we're gonna kind of spin this so it goes right into the tree like this. When I'm doing that, I wanna have a little bit of an angle like this, so that way when our tap gets put in the tree, or our spile, it uses gravity to pull that sap out. So Kai or Emmie, do you wanna help me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Emmie, go ahead and push against this here, and Kai can spin. Yep, there you go, good teamwork. Keep spinning. Yeah, good job. So you can see that some of that is coming out. That's really dark colored, so I bet that's still the bark. We've got to drill past the bark, and then we have to drill 1.5 inches into the actual tree itself. Good job, Emmie. We're really pushing in hard. And Kai's doing a good job of spinning that. So after we get that, our hand drill going in, I can see we got some sap coming out. Do you guys see that moisture there? Oh, that's good. Okay, so we need to get our tap. We need to get our tap and our mallet, our hammer. So we need our tap and our mallet. We've already used our hand drill to drill the hole, and our screwdriver to kind of clean out all the junk that's in that hole. So you can see that as we drilled that hole, that this sugar water is just dripping out. Kai and Emmie are just eating that sugar water just as it comes out of the tree. They're just drinking that sap. Okay, so we have our tap here, and now it's time to put it in the tree. Remember, we drilled at that angle, and so we want to put our tap in at that angle too. Okay, so Emmie, stand back. Kai's gonna kind of give that a couple hits there. Stand back. And stand off to the side. There you go. Good job. Nice work. We've got our spile or our tap in the tree here. We use our mallet to hammer it in. And here comes Emmie. She's got the bucket. Oh, Kai's loving that sugar water. Okay, here comes Emmie. She's gonna put that on the bucket, or on the hook there. Nice. And what do we need to put on top of this bucket? What do we need to keep all the bugs and junk and insects out? Should we just leave it like this? Or do we need a lid?
No.
We need a lid. Can you grab that silver lid, Emmie? And then, Kai, do you want to put the lid on for me?
I wanna. Yeah.
Okay. Oops. There you go.
Yes.
Do you hear that sound? That is the sound of maple sap going into our bucket. Do you like maple sap?
Yes, it's so yum.
The sugar is actually made by the leaves during the summer and is stored in the roots as starch. The warmer spring weather signals the tree to take that starch and turn it back into sugar. The sap is actually made when the tree mixes that sugar with the groundwater. As the temperatures rise in the spring, the tree will send that sugar up to the buds on the top of the tree and then back down to the roots at night. We never tap a tree that is smaller than 10 inches around. As they get bigger, we can carefully put more taps on the tree. We do have to be careful though, because too many taps could take too much sap, which would mean that the buds don't get the sap that they need. There are lots of different things that we take into account when we are tapping a tree and doing the maple syrup process. Okay, so we just tapped our trees, we've got our buckets out, and now we have to be patient and wait. We have to wait overnight, and then tomorrow we'll check these buckets, we'll pour all the sap together, and then we have to start the boiling process when we get enough sap collected. So thanks for helping us with the first part of tapping the trees. Next, we gotta go to the collecting. Okay, we're back out here, and Kai and Emmie are actually in school, so they're not gonna help me with this part. But it's time for us to check our buckets. So we pull the lid off, and inside we do have a little bit of sap. So we're gonna take that and pour it into our buckets. Now at night, it got really cold, so this is just solid ice. That's just water. This won't have any of that sugar in it, so we just go ahead and throw that out. We don't want it. That's already helping us take some of that sap and making it have less water and more sugar in it, so that's good. We'll go ahead, there's a little bit left in there. We'll hang our bucket back up. We make sure to put our lid back on. And then we'll check our next bucket. Ooh, this one did a little bit better. This side of the tree must have had a little bit more sap running. So again, we're gonna dump that in here. And look at that, big chunk of ice. All right, let's get rid of that. And then we'll pour all of our sap in our buckets here. Put this bucket back up on the tree. Put our lid on, and we'll head to our other trees to keep collecting sap. Now we'll go ahead and collect sap for several days in a row, so we have lots and lots of sap stored up. It takes 40 gallons of sap, 10 of these buckets, to make 1 gallon of syrup. So it takes a lot of sap to make a little bit of syrup. So we have a lot of collecting to do. Okay, we're out here in our outdoor kitchen for maple syrup season. So it might not look like it, but this is our stove. We'll have a fire on going underneath here, this big pan of the sap on top. And so like I said earlier, it takes 40 gallons of maple sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. So we have a lot of water that we have to boil out of that sap in order to turn it into the sugar, or into the syrup, I mean. So we're boiling off all the water and we're leaving the sugar that's gonna turn into syrup. So we boil lots and lots of that water out, and then we're left with kind of this more concentrated or this liquid that has a lot of sugar in it. But you have to be careful, because when you are cooking it, you don't want to caramelize it or overcook it. So when we get to the end, we take that and we actually do it inside, because it's a little bit easier to monitor. And so when you cook off just the right amount of water, you're left with maple syrup. So this is what we put on our waffles or our pancakes and really enjoy the yummy syrup that can come from trees. So that's the whole process. We started with a tree and we put a tap in it, and from there we got out the sap. we collected the sap, and then we bring it back here to the stove, cook all the water out, and get what's left, the good maple syrup. So thanks for helping us on our maple syruping process out here at Jefferson County Park.